just like that, Advent is done. Totally unsurprisingly, I slept in this morning. Got woken up by James as he left for work. I don't know what time he's back this evening. He's supposed to be on a half day, but I suspect that means he's going to be back at his normal time, sort of 5:30, 6 o'clock this evening. After waking up, I stayed in bed and listened to a bit of an Instagram live between Lady Di Yarns and Cece. I can't remember her handle on Instagram. And then I watched a bit of an interview with the Who's Line guys. And then I realised I was hungry, so I got up. I've had breakfast/lunch, which was a cheese coleslaw sandwich, and it was amazing. And I am going to watch Scrooge, the film, which was from the 1970s. It was broadcast on the TV last weekend before. Can't remember, recorded it. But I'm going to watch that whilst wrapping up James's stocking presents and writing his cards and stuff. I'm going to have a shower. I'm going to wash my hair. I probably need to do boring things like emptying the compost and emptying the dishwasher. I've realised that my Christmas pyjamas are not going to be made. My Christmas tablecloth is not going to be made. My little Christmas tree, where I had the plan of knitting all the decorations on it, nothing has been knitted for that. The Christmas banner that I started making, that's not going to be completed. And I kind of don't care anymore. I possibly should, but I'm not going to put myself under some artificial pressure for the perfect day, because it is literally just one day. Might go to the supermarket later to see if they have carrots, although given that it's past 1 o'clock now, chances are they don't. And then when James comes home this evening, we are going to watch a film. I recorded Elf yesterday, I think it was, possibly day before. He's never seen it before, so I said I would show him and make sure he gets to see it this year. And this evening is also the Christmas edition of All Creatures Great and Small. So that is the plan for the day. This is a pincushion that I made, partly so that I could have scraps for my friend's advent calendar, partly because I needed a bigger pincushion than the one I've got. The bottom here has actually got a layer of iron-on interfacing, so that's slightly harder than the rest of it. The rest of it was all nice and squashy, so you can push the pins in. That's taken more stuffing than I realised, or than I expected, which is fine. But I am wondering if, oh gosh, that's popping out all over the place. I'm wondering if I should actually go into the garden, find some stones, some small stones, clean them up and put them in the bottom so that the bottom is a bit more weighted. What are you doing down there, Gromit, you daft heapers? I did ask James if he had any metal to go into the bottom of this. I was thinking things like washers or ball bearings. He says he's got lots of random screws and nails, but because they're slightly spiky, they're probably not going to be good. So I think stones from the garden is the next best option. I kind of want that bottom bit to be as flat as possible so that the rest easily squashes on top of it. That makes no sense. I know what I mean, I just don't know the words I need. So I think I may actually have to unpick all of this, pull all of this out, find some stones, put the stones in the bottom and then refill it, and hopefully that will make it just a bit more weighty and solid at the bottom. Not bad though. I thought I'd sewed the lines neatly, but they do sort of seem to be going in a bit rather than just being a nice straight line. They seem to be going in a bit, but it is what it is. I made it. It's not perfect. As long as it will do for my pins and, well, pins and needles and stuff, it's fine. It'll do what it's supposed to do. As suspected, James did not do a half day. I'm not sure what time it is because I can't see the clock from here and I'm using my phone. Hold on. It's 4:30. He's on a train about now, which means I have about half an hour, 45 minutes-ish, to make and wrap a new Christmas mask for him. He's explicitly asked for a new Christmas mask, and I thought that's a nice thing that I can put in his Christmas stocking. So I've cut out this one, which is that one, the Scandi Stripes one, for the outside, and I've cut out this one for the lining. It should be pretty simple. The whole lot's all done in lime green thread. I've got elastic. I can work out how much elastic I need to put on. It should be fine. But previous experience tells me if I'm trying to sew something against a timeline or against a time limit, that's when it goes really badly wrong. And I don't have time for it to go really badly wrong this time. The mask is completed. James is next door, so I can't talk too loudly. He's also taken with him the sellotape dispenser and a pair of scissors, so I need to find a way of wrapping this up without the sellotape dispenser. I've got tape, just not the dispenser, and yeah, and then we will all be good. Talking at my phone for the last 3 minutes and then it pegged out and I realised I hadn't pressed the record button. Just gone 1 o'clock, well past bedtime. I have been doing some sewing this evening after James has gone to bed. Summary so far is this one. I have cut out the outside, I've cut out the lining, I have tacked the outside and the lining to the zip. I might do that, might sew the zip on before I go to bed, I don't know. Unfortunately, with the tacking, I've kind of messed it up ever so slightly. I know what I've done. I know how to work around it. That's fine, but I want to make sure that I'm aware of that so that I don't end up sewing bits that shouldn't be sewn, because then I won't be able to open the bag and it's all going to go very wrong. This one, I have undone the, what's it called? The unpicked the top stitching that I'd done. This is the one I wanted to go back and redo in black. To be honest, I don't know if I actually want to do top stitching on that bit there between the red and the grey, but I do need to do top stitching next to the zip, which will be in black. Finally, the one I've been working on this evening, that one. The zip is stitched on, the top stitching at the top of the zip is done, the sides on the outside are done, including the handle being stitched in. I now need to do the lining, but I'm going to do that in black rather than red because I think that's going to work better. But that means changing all the thread on the machine. And I've been trying to work out how to do things so that I'm not constantly changing black, red, black, red, black, red, black, red. But given that it's 1 o'clock in the morning, given that I haven't put everything into James's stocking yet, I haven't written the card, had to have fun kind of retrieving that from the bedside table earlier before he went to bed. Again, well done, Liz. You've had weeks to plan this and you leave it all to the last minute. Literally the last minute. I am going to leave the sewing now for the moment. I wanted to get them all finished, all 3 bags finished, so that I could put the sewing machine away. It's not happening tonight. And that's that. That is basically that. I might get some time to do some more tomorrow. I might not. I don't know. The carver is in the fridge. The orange juice is in the fridge. We've got croissants for tomorrow. We've also started opening the box of stuff that we'd accumulated, because I'd started, I think, at some point last month, when I went to the shops, if I saw something, I was like, oh, buy that just as an extra. I've ended up with 4 one-person Christmas puddings. We've got 2 or 3 bars of chocolates, 2 lots of the German spiced biscuits, the name of which I can't remember. 2 lots of stuffing, I believe. I have no idea how we've ended up with 2 lots of stuffing, especially as we've still got the stuffing from last year, I think. So yeah, we've got enough. I didn't realise quite how much was there, even though I've been kind of keeping a list and ticking stuff off the list. It's fine. We will get through it. We'll still be eating Christmas stuff come Easter. That's just the way it is. I've also, and I can't remember if I said this or not, put my Christmas earrings in for the day. I couldn't decide whether to have Santa or whether to have the reindeer. So I've got both in. Santa tucked away behind his reindeer. Bought from Asda last year. And that's that. That is Christmas Eve. Christmas Day is, well, it's technically Christmas Day now. Still don't feel the least bit festive. Tried to get in the mood by watching the 9 Lessons and Carols from Kings. A friend of mine phoned. It was something like a 1.25 hour, 1 hour, 20-minute telephone call. Phone calls with her always end up long. I still haven't worked out quite how to make them shorter. But that sort of, we'd part, by the time that phone call had finished, the programme had finished, we were out of the mood of sitting and watching Carols from Kings before dinner. So we listened to it whilst we were making dinner. Had dinner, watched the Christmas episode of All Creatures Great and Small, watched today's Christmas episode of University Challenge, or as I like to call it, Universally Challenged. James is feeling slightly fluey. He's been taking LFTs. He's not had a positive LFT. So he's gone to bed. He's gone to bed well over an hour ago. And I really need to follow him. Otherwise I'm going to be asleep all day tomorrow. And that's not going to be a good thing. Merry Christmas.